Welcome back. Well, the Bold North just finished hosting Super Bowl 52, but another major competition is bringing athletes back to the area. The American Birkebeiner is just 2 weeks away. Right across the border in Hayward, Wisconsin, the largest cross-country ski race in the country takes place every year. More than 13,000 athletes from around the world gather to compete in Hayward. And joining us tonight is Ben Popp, who is the executive director of the American Birkebeiner Ski Foundation. Ben, thanks so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
Okay, it's a totally different year this year. We have to give you a hard time about last year. Mark Rosen and I, we still had a good time in Hayward, but really the second time in race history that you guys had to cancel because of the weather.
You know, right, in 45-year history, only the second time. And, you know, it was heartbreaking, of course. Almost 25,000 spectators, another 13,000 skiers, so nearly 40,000 people flocking to this tiny town in northern Wisconsin. And they all year wait for this. You know, they train, they're friends, they see them once a year. People come from California, Florida, all over, sometimes do their cold turkey Birkie. And so it really is this highlight, something they really shoot for all year. And then, to not have it happen was, and you guys were there, you saw it, right? And it was on Monday, okay, Tuesday, and then by the end, unfortunately, we could have actually raced a small portion of it, but it just wasn't safe for 10 or 13,000 skiers. And so at the end of the day, skier safety, as hard as it was, Birkie 44 was canceled, but this year is going to even be better. So.
Yeah, and talk about that. You know, one thing I was surprised to learn, it's not just the race, it's really a whole week, Ben, that you guys have going on there.
Well, that's the thing, actually. You guys know all about the International Bridge. It was just down here, but that actually goes in a week from this coming Monday. So the bridge goes in, and then activities start shortly thereafter, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's everything from ski joring, the Birkie, to nearly 1,000 kids will race up and down Main Street, Hayward. And then the Cancellations, one of the biggest changes we have this year is actually North America's second largest race is also part of the Birkebeiner. It's called the Cancellations, 29 kilometers, so it's sort of the half marathon, if you will. And that was always part of Birkie Saturday, but it's to give it its own identity. I mean, again, nearly 3,000 people do it. We actually moved it to Friday. So this year will be the first time all the Cancellations skiers actually get to ski into downtown Hayward. That is really the exhilarating part, of course. So they're going to get to ski into downtown Hayward, and that's on Friday. And then Saturday, the big show comes to town, and let's just say we're excited, and hopefully the weather hangs on for us.
And you talked about that, the bridge. It really is such a monument. It was so cool to see it here as part of the Super Bowl festivities. And also had a little bit of an ice issue one night, right?
Well, you know, that was something else. I mean, almost 10 months of planning. When the Super Bowl and the Bold North concept came on, they said, hey, we really want to showcase what happens in the upper Midwest in the winter. We're not on beaches. We're not surfing. We ski jor, we snowshoe. And we hear you've got this bridge you can ski on. And I said, yeah. The problem was, interestingly enough, right, your skyways are at, you know, 16, 17 feet. The bridge is actually almost 20 feet high, so they had to flip it over, bring it into downtown, and then certainly it was awesome to be here for, you know, the largest sporting event in North America, and to see people from, I mean, I talked to people from Arizona, from West Virginia, all over that got to experience snow tubing, cross-country skiing, fat biking, all the things that we sort of take for granted that we love doing in the winter. They got to try it for the first time. So certainly was actually really exciting, and we were very happy, and you'll be glad to know that today the bridge actually rolled back into Hayward. It came down actually during Super Bowl, believe it or not, and it's now back home in Hayward, ready to go back up in a week.
Yeah, and what a huge job. It was cool to see it kind of all unfold. And let's look back on the Birkie, because that's what I think is so fun, too. You guys have such a cool history in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Tony Wise came up with this idea of having a ski race. You know, the history actually goes back all the way to 1206, when these two warriors, they were going to kill the Prince of Norway. Well, they were saved by the Vikings, and they skied him, of course, 55 kilometers up over the mountain, brought him to safety, and then it wasn't but a couple hundred years later, Norway said, hey, we have to honor that. He became the greatest king of their time. So they started a ski race. Well, Tony Wise said, you know what, we should have our own in the U.S., of course. So he started in 1973. 35 people. And to this day, we still have one person, Ernie St. Germain, that has skied every one of them.
Wow.
Amazing. And so then it started from this humble little 35-person race to now now, like I said, nearly 13,000 people ages 3 to almost 84 this year will ski the American Birkebeiner in one way, shape, or form. And you've seen it evolve from everything, again, to being this tiny little ski race to now. I think it's really a cornerstone of what we do in northern Wisconsin, and certainly the identity of Hayward and Cable, and it's good fun to be a part of it.
Speaking of what you do in Wisconsin, before you go, we're going to talk beer.
You know, so of course,
you brought some
right?
Merchandise, right?
Yeah, for sure, right? When you're in Hayward and you're in Wisconsin, let's face it, you're going to ski a long way. It's going to be really hard, and then when you're done, you want a broad and a brew ski. So
you said beer consumption was up last year, right?
That's right, because of course no one got to ski anywhere. All they did was ski around 1K and drink beer. So the Birkie Brewski, Lucette Brewing, they're out of Menominee, came up with this concept and said, hey, we should have a Birkie Brew Ski. So there you have it, the Birkie Brewski, and certainly it's kind of fun. We had it down here as part of the Super Bowl when they said, what are you wearing? I said, well, you know, the Birkie Brewski. So this year, right, when you come up to Hayward, after you put in your time of skiing 35 miles across Hill and Dale, then you can enjoy a cold brewski.
And also, beyond beer, there is a lot of events for non-skiers as well.
Unbelievable. You know, everything from, obviously, all the spectating things that go on with a sporting event like that to now there's all kinds of snowshoeing demos. The expo itself is actually, I think, one of the largest ski demos throughout the upper Midwest, and really gives a chance for people to come see equipment, but then also, hey, I've always wanted to try skiing, or I've thought about snowshoeing, anything outside. And then the other big one, of course, is fat bikes. Fat bikes are growing really fast, and they're really, anybody can use them. And so it's been fun to see that evolve, and yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everyone in the Northwoods here soon.
All right, we wish you luck again this year. Ben, thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Well, thank you. We're looking forward to a snowy Birkie 2018, and it's going to be a good one.
Game on this year.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you, Ben. And for more information on the event, just head to WCCO.com/links. We'll be right back.